Analyzing peak trends but still losing, the secret psychology of traders. You can read the market like a god, predict peaks and troughs like a wizard, but if every time you press the trade button, your heart pounds and your hands tremble, then let me tell you, you are digging your own grave. Fear. Yes. Not wrong analysis. Not the market turning its back. But the fear deep within your soul is strangling your account. It has no shape. It doesn't appear on the chart, but it lurks. It whispers when you take profits too early. It screams when you hold losses until your account burns. And it mocks when you ask yourself, why do I analyze correctly but still lose? The financial market is a cruel psychological game. You can master Fibonacci, draw trend lines like an artist, or read news faster than AI. But if your psychology is weak, if you let fear control you, all your analysis is just a joke in the eyes of the market. Where does fear come from? It doesn't arise naturally. It is the result of a bitter truth that every trader, from novice to veteran, must admit. You never know for sure where the price will go. Never. No one does. Think about it. You open the chart, draw price channels, set indicators, analyze candlestick patterns. You tell yourself, this time it's certain, but then the price goes against you, or the price goes right. But you cut the trade too early out of fear. Or worse, you hold losses, hoping the price will turn around, only to watch your account evaporate. All of this stems from one thing. You cannot accept uncertainty. The financial market is not for those seeking certainty. It is an ocean full of turbulent waves. Each trade is a leap, not knowing whether the next wave will lift you up or sink you. And the fear of not knowing what will happen is causing you to destroy yourself. You don't lose because you lack knowledge. You lose because you are afraid. Afraid of losing money. Afraid of making mistakes. Afraid the market will prove you're not good enough. Every hesitation, every emotional trade closure, is you letting fear drive. But wait, don't despair yet. Fear is not something you cannot overcome. It is part of the game. Every trader is afraid, from beginners to billion-dollar fund managers. The difference: they don't let fear dominate. They learn to face it. They learn to trade despite the fear. So how do you do that? The answer doesn't lie in reading another technical analysis book, not in finding a perfect trading strategy. The answer lies in understanding the nature of the market and training your own psychology. Start by accepting one truth. The market never gives you certainty. The price can rise, fall, or go sideways to tease you. No tool, no indicator, no analysis can predict the future. And this is not your weakness. This is the nature of the game. When you accept that you cannot control the market, you begin to focus on the only thing you can control: yourself. Manage emotions. Manage risk. Manage how you react to each trade. That's where real victory begins. But don't think accepting uncertainty is easy. It's not a switch you flip and it's done. It's a process. A long journey where you face the demons in your mind. Each trade, each loss, is a training session. You are learning not to let fear lead you. So why do leaders, group admins, top analysts still lose? Because analysis is only half the story. The other half is psychology. You can be a genius analyst, but without a steel mentality, you'll always be an outsider. Remember, the market doesn't care how good you are. It doesn't care how many hours you've spent drawing charts, how many nights you've researched. It only cares how you act when real money is on the table. That's when fear reveals itself fully. And if you're not ready, it will devour you. So what's the first step? Understand that fear is part of you. But it is not you. It is an emotion, not the truth. Start by observing it. Every time your heart races, every time you hesitate before a trade, ask, what am I afraid of? The answer will reveal the holes in your trading psychology. Next, change how you view the market. Instead of seeing it as a place to prove yourself, see it as a playground. A game where you don't need to win every round. You just need to play correctly, with discipline, and let probability work Finally, trade. Don't just analyze. Don't just sit in groups sharing signals or drawing beautiful charts. Place real money. Even if it's small, let yourself feel the pressure, feel the fear, and learn to overcome it. Because there is no lesson more valuable than real combat. Fear never disappears. But you can be stronger than it. You can learn to trade even when it's screaming in your head. And when you do, you'll see, being good at analysis isn't what makes you win. A steel mentality is. The financial market is not a playground for dreamers of certainty. It is a chess game where you never know the next card. And uncertainty, the thing that keeps you tossing and turning, that makes you hesitate before each trade, is the harshest rule no one can break. There are two things you never know for sure when trading. 1. Where will the price go? 2. When will it get there? No matter how sharp your analysis, no matter how well you read the market, these two questions remain giant question marks. Uncertainty is not your fault. It's not something you can fix by learning another indicator or seeking a holy strategy. It is the nature of the market, the DNA of this buying and selling game, and if you don't learn to accept it, the market will lead you by the nose. You open the chart, draw a trend line, set RSI, analyze news. You tell yourself, yeah, the price will definitely rise. This pattern is clear as day. But then what? The price may rise, but slowly, like a turtle, making you bored and cutting the trade early. Or it plummets, leaving your account red. Or worse, it goes sideways, teasing you, driving you crazy, not knowing what to do. All because you try to find certainty in a game that never gives it to you. How does this uncertainty affect your psychology? It gives birth to fear. Fear of being wrong. Fear of losing money. Fear that all your analysis is meaningless. And when fear flares up, you start to destroy yourself. You take profits too early because you're afraid the price will turn. You hold losses, hoping, praying the price will reverse, or you stand aside, not daring to trade, thinking, what if I'm wrong? You don't lose because your analysis is poor. You lose because you can't stand uncertainty. You want the market to obey you, to follow your script. But the market doesn't work that way. It doesn't care what you think, what you predict, or what you desire. It only does what it wants, when it wants. So why do leaders, group admins, top analysts still lose? Because they fall into the trap of certainty? They are good at analysis. So they think they can predict the market. They share signals, predict peaks and troughs, get praised by the crowd. But when trading for real, with real money on the table, they realize analysis is not enough. The market is not an Excel sheet or a beautiful chart. It is a wild beast. Untamable. Every time you trade, you are betting on an uncertain future. No indicator, no pattern, no news can tell what will happen. Fibonacci may be right today, wrong tomorrow. A doji may signal a reversal, or it may be a market trap. And news, don't joke, a tweet from a big shot can crash the market instantly. This uncertainty is not just technical, it's psychological. It forces you to face the fact that you can't control everything. And that's uncomfortable, right? You spend hours researching, analyzing, preparing, but in the end, you still face the possibility of loss, like building a sandcastle only for the waves to wash it away. But here's what you need to understand. Accepting uncertainty doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean trading blindly, throwing money into the market like playing the lottery. It means learning to play this game with clarity. You don't try to predict the future with certainty. You focus on what you can control, strategy, risk, and your own psychology. Instead of seeing it as a puzzle to solve, see it as a probability war. Each trade is a bet. Based on analysis and discipline, you don't need to be right all the time. You just need to be right enough and manage risk well enough so that in the end, your account grows. So, how do you live with uncertainty? First, stop looking for the perfect strategy. There's no such thing. Every strategy has wins and losses. Instead, build a clear trading system, a system with rules for entering, stopping losses, Taking profits, it doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to keep you disciplined, even when the market drives you crazy. Next, manage risk like a seasoned pro. Never bet too much on one trade. Remember, the market can always go against you. No matter how certain your analysis, only risk a small part of your account, 1/5, 2/5, so you can survive the dark days. When you know you can't lose everything, uncertainty becomes less scary. Finally, train a probability mindset. Think like a casino owner. The casino doesn't win every hand. They just play long enough, with the odds in their favor, to always profit. You too. Each trade is a bet. You don't need to win every trade. You just need to ensure that, in the long run, profits exceed losses. Uncertainty is the enemy, but also the teacher. It teaches you that trading is not about predicting the future. It's about managing risk, controlling emotions, and playing by the rules. When you learn to accept uncertainty, you fear less. You trade with confidence, not because you know where the price will go, but because you know you can handle any situation. But don't think accepting uncertainty is easy. It takes time. It requires facing losses, sleepless nights, moments when you want to smash the keyboard because the market won't listen. But each time you overcome, you grow stronger. You get closer to becoming a real trader, not just a good analyst, but a good trader. Remember, the market never gives you certainty, but it gives you opportunity. The opportunity to train, to mature, to master yourself. And if you want to seize that opportunity, you must learn to live with uncertainty. Not fight it, not fear it, but embrace it. As part of the game, you analyze sharply like a knife, read the market like a god. But every time you trade, you fall into a deadly spiral, not holding profits long enough, holding losses until your account burns. This isn't rare. This is the psychological trap every trader has fallen into. And if you don't break it, you'll always be the market's prey. Holding profits, holding losses sound familiar? It's two sides of the same coin. Emotion. When you hold profits, you fear the price will turn. Fear, losing the small gain. When you hold losses, you refuse to cut the trade. You hope, you pray, the price will reverse. But the market doesn't care what you hope. It just goes where it wants, leaving you with a tattered account and broken psychology. Holding profits and losses stems from one thing: fear. Fear of losing money. Fear of mistakes. Fear the market will prove you're not good enough. This isn't a technical issue, not because you lack knowledge or analyze wrong. This is a psychological issue. And if you don't solve it, you'll forever repeat this losing cycle. You buy. The price rises a bit. You start to see profit. Your heart races. Your mind screams. Close it. Close it before it's gone. So you close, make a small profit, feeling like you just won big. But then what? The price continues to rise. Rises strongly, and you sit there, dazed, regretting closing too early. You tell yourself, next time I'll let it run longer. But next time, when the price goes against you, you hold the loss. Don't dare to cut, thinking, it will definitely come back. Result: account in the red, psychology in chaos, and you start doubting your abilities. Why? Because you let emotions lead. When you hold profits too early, you're running from the fear of losing profit. When you hold losses too long, you're running from the fear of failure. Both are ways you protect yourself from the feeling of failure. But the paradox is, running away ensures you fail. When you trade, you're not just betting money, you're betting your self-esteem, your belief in your analysis. Each trade is you facing yourself, asking, am I really as good as I think? And when the market goes against you, when the price doesn't obey, it doesn't just hurt your account, it hurts your ego. That's why you hold losses, because cutting losses isn't just losing money. It's admitting you're wrong. And admitting mistakes, for many traders, is unbearable. But here's the harsh truth. The market doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't care how many hours you've analyzed, how much effort you've put into that trade. It just does what it wants. And if you don't learn to let go, To accept losses, you'll forever be stuck in the trap of holding losses. Holding profits is no less dangerous. When you take profits too early, you think you're safe. You think you're protecting your profit. But in reality, you're cutting your own potential. You're letting fear control you, making you miss big opportunities. Remember, the market doesn't reward cowards. It rewards those who dare to be patient, dare to let profits run, dare to face risk. So why do leaders, group admins, top analysts still fall into this trap? Because being good at analysis doesn't mean having a strong psychology. They can read the market like a book, but when real money is on the table, emotions still take over. They still fear losing. They still fear being wrong. And that fear makes them hold profits too early, hold losses too long. And in the end, their accounts still go bust. Holding profits and losses isn't instinct. It's a habit. It's how you react to market pressure. And this habit can be broken if you're willing to train how to escape this trap. First, build a clear trading plan. Not the kind of, I'll take profit when I feel it's enough. No, folks, set specific profit and loss levels before entering the trade. For example, I'll take profit at this resistance. Cut loss if the price breaks that bottom. This plan is your compass, keeping you sane when emotions surge. Next, learn to accept losses. Losses are not failure. They are part of the game. No trader wins 100%. Even legends like Soros or Buffett have lost. Cutting losses isn't admitting you're bad. It's protecting your account, protecting your opportunity to trade again. Think of cutting losses as paying tuition to the market, a small price for a big lesson. Third, train patience. Don't jump out of a trade just because you're afraid the price will turn. If your analysis is solid, if your plan is clear, let the market do its thing. Don't let fear turn you into a morning sun. Afternoon rain trader, let profits run. But based on the plan, not emotion. Finally, manage risk like a seasoned pro. Never bet too much on one trade. Only risk a small part of your account, 1/5, 2/5, so you can survive losses. When you know you can't lose everything, you'll be less afraid. You'll hold losses less, because you know losing one trade isn't a disaster. You'll take profits less early, because you know you can let profits run without fear of collapse. Holding profits and losses is a psychological trap, but it's not something you can't overcome. It requires discipline. It requires facing your own emotions. Every time you take profits too early, every time you hold losses too long, stop and ask, what am I afraid of? The answer will show the holes in your psychology, and when you patch those holes, you'll trade with confidence. Not because you know what will happen, but because you know you can handle any situation. Remember, the market is a psychological forge. It doesn't test your analytical skills. It tests your self-control, and if you want to win, you must learn to overcome the trap of holding profits and losses. Not by avoiding it, but by facing it, training, and growing. You can analyze the market down to every detail. Understand that uncertainty is the rule. Realize that holding profits and losses is a deadly trap. But if you don't act, don't forge a steel mentality. It's all just empty theory. The market doesn't need you to be good at talking. It needs you to be good at doing. And today, we'll conclude by laying the foundation for you to master psychology, master trading, and master yourself. Why do you analyze at the peak but still lose? Because of psychology. Fear lurks in every decision, making you take profits early, hold losses long, or not dare to trade. Because of uncertainty, something you can't erase, but can learn to accept. Because of the habit of holding profits and losses, not instinct, but an emotional reaction you need to break. And finally, because you haven't truly experienced, haven't dared to put real money to forge in the market's fire. Now the question is, how to overcome it all? How to turn yourself from a good analyst into a winning trader? The answer isn't in learning another indicator, not in finding a holy secret. The answer is building a steel mentality, forging discipline, and acting with clarity. You can have the best strategy, the most accurate analysis, But if your psychology is weak, you'll shoot yourself in the foot. Every trade, you're not just facing the market. You're facing yourself, your fear, your greed, your ego, and if you don't master them, the market will devour you. So, how to master psychology? First, accept that you will always be afraid. Fear never disappears. Even veteran traders, billion-dollar fund managers, still feel their hearts race before big trades. The difference is they don't let fear lead. They observe it, understand it, and act despite it. Start by identifying your fear. Every time you hesitate, every time you take profits early or hold losses, ask, what am I afraid of? The answer will be the key to fixing your psychology. Next, build a trading system like a seasoned pro. This system doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be clear. When to enter, where to stop loss, how to take profit. The system is your compass, keeping you on track when emotions try to pull you off course. When you have a system, you don't trade on feeling. You trade on rules. And rules will save you from the stupid decisions, fear, or greed whispers. Third, manage risk like an art. Never bet too much on one trade. Only risk a small part of your account, 1/5, 2/5. Why? Because when you know you can't lose everything, you'll be less afraid. You'll hold losses less, because you know losing one trade isn't a disaster. You'll take profits less early, because you know you can let profits run without fear of collapse. Risk management doesn't just protect your account, it protects your psychology. Fourth, train a probability mindset. The market isn't where you have to be right all the time. It's where you play with probability. Think like a casino owner. The casino doesn't win every hand. They just play long enough, with the odds in their favor, to always profit. You too. Each trade is a bet. You don't need to win every trade. You just need to ensure that, in the long run, profits exceed losses. This mindset will reduce pressure, reduce the fear of being wrong, and focus on playing correctly. Finally, act. Don't just analyze. Don't just sit in groups sharing signals or drawing beautiful charts. Trade. Place real money. Even if it's small, let yourself feel the pressure. Feel the fear, and learn to overcome it. Each trade is a training session. Each loss is a lesson. And each time you stand up, you're stronger. Remember, successful traders aren't the best. They're not the ones who predict correctly every time or make the most money overnight. They are the most persistent, those who dare to face fear, dare to accept losses, dare to train over time. The market is a harsh universe, but fair. It will reward those who are resilient, those who dare to act, those who dare to master themselves. So what will you do next? Continue analyzing, continue sharing signals, but not dare to enter real combat, or start acting. Start trading. Start forging a steel mentality. The choice is yours. But if you want to win, you know what to do. Trade. Experience. Let the market teach you, challenge you, and turn you into a real trader. Folks, if you want to continue this journey, want to learn to master psychology, master the market, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel right now. We don't promise holy secrets. Don't fake it with sweet words. We share the truth, share experience, so you can stand firm in this game. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and together, we will conquer the market